So we have a game between mwfendt and Frodolight. Okay, so we're this game between mwfendt and Frodolight. mwfendt is playing No Money, No Parts, No Deal, otherwise known as the Watto objective, and Frodolight is looking to be playing Tocche Station along with Obi-Wan's Hut. So, any thoughts, WormTime, on this matchup?
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup, I think, because on one hand you have Fent coming out here with Watto, definitely one of the strongest decks in the format, and he gets a pretty standard start here. First turn, they're basically always going to get Watto down, and somebody over at Mos Espa there, and they'll put a card down before you can even activate Force. So you're losing Force in your first turn. Can be a little bit frustrating. But it's going to be an interesting game because Frodolight here is working with a Tatooine-based deck. I actually saw him testing this out, and I don't want to give too much away in case people are sneaking in the street. Did you post the stream to the chat yet? Hold on, let me do that.
Sure.
And I guess it won't matter now. We could talk about it, and the folks who watch the stream later can see it. But yeah, he's working on a Tatooine themed deck. He was working on it last night, playing some players with it, and the key idea is that he's going to try to get Obi-Wan Kenobi to the Tocche station, activate a bunch of Force, and then kind of treat it like a mains and toys deck, and try to go after his opponent. So, all right, bear with me here as I grab this stream.
Sure, no problem.
Bam. And then we need to go back to GIMP. And I'll get more proficient as as we go along, but I'm still pretty slow along these keystrokes to get the right stuff in. Streaming. What is it? mwfendt?
mwfendt, Matthew Fendt,
mwfendt.
yes.
And Frodo. All right. So let's get back into this game. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what type of resistance Frodo is going to give him at Watto's place, which, as you know, with Watto out, Frodolight can't draw Destiny there. Now there are a couple tricky ways around that. We could talk about that as the game progresses. But yeah, I think it will be a very confrontational game, and that will make it interesting because they're both going to try to fight on Tatooine, I suppose.
Agreed. Yeah. Now, of course, Watto is technically vulnerable at the moment. And obviously, most people play this, just deploy Watto, deploy someone else immediately. Now, he's deploying Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan's Hut. I get that it's cheaper. I know that Matthew Fenn has one force there, so he might have a barrier.
Mhm.
Do you think the best plan is for Frodolight to stick to his plan and go from Obi-Wan's Hut to Tocche Station? I get that it's a lot of activation force. Is that just enough? I guess, I mean, there's a 3 force gap right now. Is that the best move in your mind, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think given his deck construction, I don't think that there's much else that he can do because um, I don't suspect that he has a lot of locations available that he's going to be able to generate a lot of force with. You see, he does pull Moss Isley here, but getting Ben over there and getting up to 13 force next turn will be beneficial. I think the problem for him though is that I don't think Fent's going to let him activate there. I think that next turn Fent's going to come down to Tocche Station and try to fight Ben Kenobi,
Right.
so that it's going to get very action very quick.
I suppose that's fair. And if I look at the text Tocche Station, generate where X is here. So, and dark side is if you occupy Tocche's station's game text is canceled. So dark side just has to occupy, basically. And
That's
then,
right. He doesn't need the control, so he comes down with anything, and he wipes 5 activation off. That's a big deal. Now, obviously, that's Frodo's game plan, so he's expecting that, and he's going to try to defend Tocche, and then I would imagine he will branch out and try to attack Mos Espa or Watto's Junkyard.
Now, I know kind of with some plans against, facing Wattos. I mean, there's the seeker strategy, but he has Moss Isley on the other side of Watto's junkyard. Now, I don't know if there's some deployment rules, but would you normally try to have these sites deployed differently? I think what is it, if you have a single site, like non-objective, you deploy first. So I'm guessing earlier Matthew moved Watto over to the corner. I guess that's good for Matthew, but does Moss Isley have to go on the far side of Watto, or do you think there's a
It does
benefit
not.
for?
So
Yeah,
legally, it does not. Legally, it does not. So for Tatooine, the deployment order would be that Mos Eisley, then Docking Bay 94, and then the Cantina capping off one end. And on the other end, it needs to be Jabba's palace, followed by the entrance cavern, followed by the interior Jabba's palace sites. And those are really the only order restrictions, to my knowledge, that Tatooine has. Certainly in retro, that's the only restrictions that it has. So he could have put Mos Eisley on the other side. My guess is that he wants to do some Cantina shuffling,
and you
and
want
he's basically keeping it away from Watto and saying, you have your drain of 2 here, and then I'm going to try to drain you elsewhere.
okay. So we have Darth Maul and Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba combo.
Hmm. Yep, not
And
looking good for
no
Obi-Wan,
battle.
but um, he didn't have the force to battle. He got it all down, but he didn't have the force to battle. So, but he does take away that activation,
Yeah.
and so again, tough spot for Frodo. We suspect he does not have Ben Kenobi's lightsaber because he would have put it out already, and so he's gonna need to have some type of character that's gonna get rid of Ponda Baba. Otherwise, Maul's just gonna feast with that saber.
Okay. So deploying Labor Rebel Princess, able to cancel 2 force drains per game at a related site. Um, and moving Obi-Wan over. So just abandoning Tashi Station.
Yeah. And what else are you going to do there? I mean, that's a powerful combo, and he doesn't have anything to go to battle with it yet.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. If Ben Kenobi gets hit, he can't revive Leia, and that's no good. But definitely on his heels here at the beginning of the game, at least, as Fent's going to be able to do at least 2 more damage from Watto, and potentially more if he decides to spend a force drain.
And he didn't keep 2 force. He did not keep two force to use. Is that a mistake on Frodolight's vantage point, or is like, I need to draw as much?
Well, it's
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's got to get something going. I think what he's saying when he draws those cards is that he doesn't have the answers right now in his hand. So he's willing to lose 2 life force in order to kind of get his deck moving. Um, I would imagine he's probably looking for the Cantina, get some more activation, get some more drain potential out there, and he doesn't get drained, so he's doing okay on life force here. He's ahead actually, slightly ahead by 5. But, you know, Fent has a lot of powerful cards in some key locations.
Agreed. Yeah, and he's going to deploy that card sideways. Oh no, maybe it's just a graphical issue. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it came across a little weird on my screen as well there.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't even check. Do we got a chat here? Oh, we do have a chat. Okay. Vampire Hunter is saying that there is a lot of echo on your side, Bill. So maybe we could look at that for the next stream. We'll play around with what might be causing that.
I'll speak a
Thank you,
little
Vampire
closer.
Hunter.
Thank you.
Who is that? VHD in chat? Is that VHD in the in GEMP? So we see Piet and Majeric coming down. It looks like he is going to be looking for a system, possibly Tatooine, and then he'll be able to get Tatooine occupation out if he's playing that style. And yep, there's Tatooine.
Agreed. And the defensive shield that's anti-mobilization points is not there, so he will get one force activation for the docking bay.
Yeah, it's very curious. So number one, that the shield blocking mobilization points wasn't played. And then it was also curious, but even though it wasn't blocked, I didn't see Fent pull out the system usually like Cardia or Randilli, typically with the Watto builds. Perhaps he pulled Executor. I don't know if I can go all the way back up to the top. Let's see if he pulled Executor. Oh yeah, he pulled Executor with it, so he's probably looking to deploy that for free at some point with Watto's ability.
Good point.
Tell
Hmm.
you, I don't know about you, Bill, but I like when I sense that Executor coming out for free. I like to just lose 2 force and make them put it in the use pile rather than deploy it.
Agreed on
Slows
that
them
point.
down.
Of course, okay, so finally allegations of corruption. I was waiting for something like that. I don't know. I'm curious to see if he has Bespin, but maybe Bespin would be overkill in this build. I don't know. Yeah, because Watto's giving things for free. Do we really need another card that gets for free? Probably not.
Very unlikely, very unlikely. The Watto decks, from what I've seen, just run a ton of characters and starships, and they just keep coming at you, and you just got to fight them off over and over and over again. Blizzard 4, big thematic card. You'll see that one a lot. Starts pulling out some more Imperials from the reserve deck, deploys Vader for free. All sorts of Watto tricks.
So Fertilite's turn. He has 9 life force. Battle plan is on the board. So if he force drains, would only have 6. So
Oh yeah, I doubt he'll drain.
agreed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
Hopefully
unfortunately,
he can find some cards to fight.
agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Right now he's kind of getting force choked effectively.
He's very much getting force choked, and that's the thing with Tashi Station is like if you can hold it, it's fantastic. You can put an Obi-Wan or a Qui-Gon there, and you can generate a ton of force. But Darkseid has these powerful cards in this format with Darth Maul and Saber, Doctor Evazan, Darth Vader with Saber, and it's tough to hold sights. Um, I like to play a style that goes down with one character at a time and then loses that character. And so even my decks typically aren't, holding sights against Darkseid. It's tough. You got to stack up a lot of characters.
And I think Decipher Cards Only and Decipher Cards Only Modified. I mean, because you have Darth Maul with Saber, because you have Qui-Gon Jinn with Saber, and we have all these lightsaber people walking around in these high destinies. I mean, it's kind of a format that it's really you're just trying to plow into each other like one card's trying to clear, like you're clearing, clearing, clearing. So it's hard to justify putting a bunch of people in one site at the same time. Is that a fair statement, or what are your thoughts there?
Absolutely. I think that's spot on how the meta ends up playing, and this meta is definitely a style in which you don't want to commit a lot of the cards to the table at once. Um, and if you are committing a lot of cards to the table, you want to be in a situation like Fent is, where you have a big differential in activation, so that your opponent's limited in his ability to counter you. He can attack maybe one site, but he can't attack several. So Watto's still there by himself. I didn't even know he's been sitting there for a couple turns now by himself. And finally, we see a Luke with Saber coming to attack him.
See if there's a. I'm waiting for the barrier. I'm waiting for something to stop this. Let's see.
Well, he may not stop it. I mean, Watto has this thing, the chance cube he can pull, which allows him to draw, I think, 2 destiny if he rolls correctly. And if you have like a Gick, he certainly has more Wattos in the deck than one. And you kind of force your opponent to show, what he has here, and then you could go for a counter beatdown again with that activation difference.
No action yet. It's Frodolight's turn. What's Frodolight doing? Frodolight's timer is going down, but it should be Fint. There we go. All right.
And so he does battle, and we'll get a swing of the saber.
and he's going to be
Barrier.
hit. Yeah.
And so, do we see sorry about the mess? Here's the question, or blaster proficiency, I should say.
I guess you'd only do that if you were afraid of a Watto's Chance Cube, or what's the name of that card if you have a lone
Yeah,
alien,
yeah. Watto's
defending?
chance cube.
Yeah.
Oh,
Has a
the
picture.
alien one is Tarkin.
Yeah, is it
Moment
has
of Triumph.
the moment? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Moment of Triumph. Yeah. And so, 2 battle damage. You won't even need to. Oh, but a Watto from the used pile.
Mm,
So he lost 2 Wattos.
true. Left one on top,
He lost
so
2 Wattos that battle.
probably
Horrible.
has at least one more. I don't know. It seems 3 Wattos is the standard. He could have 4, but
Yeah, and I expected in his hand to be that bold to keep it there. Um, but it'd be interesting to see. I mean, again, 2 Wattos. That that could be the change that Frodo needed to kind of turn the tide here. We'll see.
agreed. Let's see.
Fent going for an effect.
We already had the blockade flagship bridge, so let's see what he gets.
Well, he can't deploy that one. That text only works during your deploy phase, and he's still in activation, so he can only grab an effect here.
Okay.
I'm curious what he would be going for. Possibly first strike, looking for first strike to retrieve one of those Wattos, perhaps.
That would be a good bet. Let's see, you did the first strike and battle order combo.
I don't suspect so. Watto is a deck that doesn't really want to be playing that combo card. It doesn't want to pay for its drains. Often it doesn't deploy Tatooine and it just sits on the ground. So I would imagine that we might see that like the full first. What did he get? Do we see it? Oh, we got Tatooine occupation. So he's going to
Yeah,
go the damage route, and he's
yeah,
just going to say, "I can out damage you."
yeah. Damage, and you don't have to pay for force drains now, so that's good for him.
Yep, and further enhances his activation advantage. Yeah, so it seems that he didn't have a Watto in his hand.
Yeah, otherwise, why not deploy? Well, I guess, of course, Luke is at the site now. So he's putting P-59 with Janice. He's opting not to fight with P-59. Interesting, because he would
Yep.
most likely be able to clear that Luke. So I don't know if he's afraid of battle damage or if he knows he has multiple Lukes and just doesn't want to bother. Or does he just want to move
I
to the
think that
Obi-Wan's hut?
I think he just wants to out damage his opponent, and he's saying, "Go ahead, spend 3 to drain for 2 there, and I'm going to drain for 3 for free, and then do 2 more with Tatooine occupation, and you're only activating 9 force." And I think that he's just saying, I'll damage you this way until I find a Watto.
Yeah, he's
It'll
opting to
be
double up
interesting
with
to see
Janice. Yeah, go ahead.
how many. Again, I don't want to give too much away about the content of Frodo's deck, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it'll be interesting to see what type of response that Frodo has in space to Zuckuss sitting there. Zuckuss is great against something small, but you can attack Zuckuss with, as long as you can get it, 7 ability or more. You could do it. It's only got 4 power and 5 forfeit.
Agreed. I hope he has more than just, Luke, Chewie, and Falcon. I'm hoping he has, at least another ship, so he can clear Zuckuss. Let's see.
Yeah, and for now it looks like he's going to have to ignore that. He's going to load up the skiff with Ben Kenobi and Leia. My guess would be possibly as a react to Moss Espa, or even more importantly, as a react over to Luke. But he can't reach Luke actually. He doesn't have enough land speed to get over to Luke.
I mean, Luke could move over to him. I mean, he could put everyone in, Moss Espa together, but there's no. I don't think he has order to engage here. There's a shield against order to engage, so I mean, you can double up against there, but they can just move away. Can move as a react, like you said. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's where I would have spent 3 force on that turn though. Or 2 force, I guess, deploys negative -1 to Tatooine, but again, I think if you're Fent right now, you're happy with the current game state. Like you until something changes, you're in the driver's seat.
I would agree. Fenn has the
He's
initiative for
probably just
now.
going to look for
Yeah.
yeah. It looks like he's just going to look for probably Watto, and then try to deploy the executor for free. Because what else are Piet and Majeric doing over there? I mean, he doesn't really need that extra +1 force. So he must be planning on getting them off of there at some point.
I did remind myself that the condition to flip the objective is you have to occupy Mos Espa. So, if Ben Kenobi and Leia can kick off P-59 and Janice, then he won't be able to flip if he can achieve that. Of course, he has no weapon. That's the probably potential issue for Frodolight.
It's an issue, but worse than that is that I mean, Watto's a very unique objective, and oftentimes Watto objective will actually flip back and forth each turn. And some people play it where each turn they will deploy a new character to Mos Espa, flip, use the benefit, and then move everybody over to Watto's junkyard where they have the destiny protection.
So I'm seeing here first offers within SP, so it sounds like Frodolight is going for the Super Home 1 package. One thing I don't love about it, of
Correct,
course, is
correct.
yeah, but
And
that
that was, what I didn't want to say earlier because, now that you see it, obviously, Home One's involved there. But with the Star Cruisers, they cost so much, and with him getting force choked, right? How is he ever going to take hold of Tatooine there?
yeah, he really needs a lot more Twixes out. Probably wants the Jedi Council chambers for the 3 Force if at all possible. So it's
We got a barrier on Vader.
good, good for Frodo, but on the other hand, it just delays the inevitable. Unless he has some, unless in those 6 cards in hand he has something that can make Vader pay even more.
It'll be tough. I mean, a lot of these water decks are going to have at least one Gick in it just for safety.
I suppose Rebel Bear is the right choice because I guess it delays an additional turn because you don't want to deploy Watto there and he gets sabered immediately afterwards. So
Well, not only that, when you're getting force choked, Luke cost you 5 force to deploy. You don't want to lose him. You don't want to lose him and have to pay 5 force again.
sure,
So this is a way you pay one, you save Luke, you save his abilities, and now he might die on your turn, if you battle or something like that. But you're calling the shots there instead of your opponent.
agreed. So 9 Force. If you're Frodo Light, okay, lightsaber.
If he'll be increasing his force strain.
If you're Frodo Light, you probably don't want to battle Vader. You probably want to make sure you don't want to battle Vader. Probably you want to wait till Vader battles you, so at least he can't deploy Watto next turn.
Yeah, I would agree. Although I don't think Fent has Watto in his hand. I think he had a very unfortunate incident early, losing that Watto, and he's probably struggling to find his last one now.
Or a Marco, but there's
or a
no
Marco.
Imperial there. I don't know if I like that move.
It's very peculiar because, like, if you have a Hujix in hand, you would think, okay, well, you can battle clear one of them in Hujix, but you can't because he's going to get struck down by the lightsaber and Evazan.
100%. Now, P59 shoots you, I think what you lose, yeah, you lose 2 force. It's not great. So you're moving. So basically, what if Maul's able to shoot down 2 people? I mean, Maul could shoot down Ben, he could shoot down or Marco, and he could leave just Leia by herself. I guess you'd still get 1 Battle Destiny, and then what?
Hmm.
Dr. Evazan would go away and Maul would stay. It's not. I don't love it.
Something like that, but that's not ideal. That's not
Yeah,
ideal.
yeah,
You don't want that outcome
yeah. And he does have
because
Cannon Hide
because he'll
Forever as
battle Luke
well.
too.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, so Ben Kenobi's defense value is only 5 here.
It's a precarious situation for Frodo, to be sure.
Well, yeah, not only that, but he moved to Maul, which means Maul gets to strike first. So you just put
Maul's
a
going to strike first, and
so unless he has like a dodge or a swing and a miss or something, um,
but yeah, he's going to need a dodge plus more swing and a miss, like you said, a blaster deflection possibly.
or maybe disarmed. I haven't seen Darth Maul with double bladed lightsaber get disarmed, but maybe that'll happen.
That would be a strong play. That being said, Fenn could disarm him first.
That is true. He has the initiative.
Okay, so here comes so no disarmed from Fent. He instead drains a Tatooine. The good thing that Frodo has going for them is he's put very few cards on the table. And if you look at his life force, he's got 40 overall compared with 34 for Fent. So he's got a little bit of a lead, even though he's kind of had a difficult time getting his deck running here.
There's one. Sorry about the mess. Gone. He has R2 Brave Little Droid. I guess a way to cancel lateral damage. Uh, hmm,
That and Battle Destinies at Systems.
okay, that's good.
Who is this? First time chat finished for best viewers stream boot.org. This looks like spam. Is there spam in chat in Twitch? Does that happen?
Guess so.
What is this? How do I delete this? What is this? There's got to be a way to delete comments. Chat, don't go to that. Don't go to that website. That's definitely a scam. What is this? Pin. Turn on shield mode. What is shield mode? Chat will be cleared and any settings selected in shield mode would be immediately activated. All right, VHD, I'm gonna unfortunately delete your chat to get rid of his chat too.
So we got Colo Claw
Like,
Fish deployed for Matthew Fent. So been able to put a card here. Deploying Blizzard 4, the same location as Luke. Adding Tarkin to Blizzard 4. Okay, this is not good for Frodolight. He's gonna be able to cancel a
no, it's not.
Destiny. Yeah.
No, it is not. And then Colo Clawfish is an extremely powerful effect. That basically means you're almost never going to miss your lightsaber swings. And
Okay.
see a Clash of Sabers.
Okay.
Clash of
That's good.
Sabers to knock Vader out of commission for 2 turns.
I guess so. Yeah, okay. I guess he wanted to wait. Hmm. Of course, now he can move away. I guess the alternative is that Vader could swing at you first, and that wouldn't be ideal.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, if I'm Fent, I'm probably just battling him anyway. I'm probably just going to battle him, clear Luke, possibly deal a little bit of overflow. Well, probably not overflow, but Clear Luke and lose Tarkin.
Another
Puts
Blizzard
another
4.
Blizzard 4 on the Clawfish.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if I was Fent, I'd battle first at Tocche Station, and that's going to allow you to get a really nice Destiny put in when you battle over at Watto's Junkyard.
Ability,
Mm,
ability, ability. Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be rough.
I mean, Darth Maul only needs to draw 2 against Obi-Wan, if he uses the Cola Claw fish. So, and now Matthew Fent can see what's inside his deck because he was Imperial Command, so he can see what's the likelihood of if he'll be able to hit. So Frodolight's going to grab Imperial Command. Guess that's not the worst idea. Maybe it has some general in there somewhere.
It's a fair play, but sometimes with a Watto deck, there's not a lot of used interrupts that they're using. Like I said, it's very character and starship based, so it's a pretty good grab. It's probably his first or second most common interrupt in the deck.
Okay, he does have Blaster Deflection. Okay, good for him. And Matthew's going to grab that. That seems a good choice. So I can't use that one again. And so now Frodolight, his turn to shoot or use an interrupt or whatever.
Yeah, you'd like to see a swing at Maul and then a sorry about the mess. He's going to swing at Evasion, and he's going to try to say, I'm going to clear this site no matter what. He's going
That's
to make
this.
Evazon forfeit 0, and then he'll probably lose one character, but he'll draw Destiny. And he'll force Maul to be lost.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Phantom Menace out there, so Maul doesn't have immunity to attrition with a Jedi. And yeah, I don't think he'd have 2 defenses. So he draws a 1. That 4 from Cola Clawfish will not help him. Oh, okay, he's gonna make the 1 be a 4 now. Okay, yeah. Alright, alright.
Now he gets another chance to draw it high enough.
Oh,
Oh, and he doesn't, though.
amazing.
So he misses. And that's a really big swing here for Frodo, and it means that Ben Kenobi's going to survive. It means that all 3 of his characters are going to survive here, and that he will clear the site.
Think so, as long as he doesn't. Yeah, he can't draw an 8. Yeah, Rebel Princess has high forfeit, so good point.
I mean, if you're Fent, that's the worst case scenario. One of the things I noticed about these Watto decks is because they're character and starship heavy, their destinies aren't very good. Their destinies are not very good in this deck.
Yeah, they're trying to. I guess effectively they're compensating with Cola Clawfish. To try to manipulate higher destinies.
You could try, but again, if all your destinies are low, like you just saw it happen,
Yeah.
4-1-1, and you couldn't get over 5. Yeah. So very nice battle for Frodolight here. Very nice battle. He's got to be pleased. Honestly, this turn, you know, was the ideal turn for him. He barriered. Uh, was it Tarkin that he buried? He
He
barriered
he he
somebody
he he, he,
preventing the
cla- he
battle.
clashed a sabers. He clashed a sabers Vader lightsaber. Is what he did.
Yeah, the Clash of Sabers. Yeah, so he really, really took control of the board state. He still does have the problem of Tatooine occupation and the problem of battle plan, which I mean, he put it out himself. That's really it's really hurting him now. But he has now, as you see, evened up the Force generation. He's got a lot of good things going forward, and now it's going to be his turn, and we'll see what type of initiative he can carry over.
Yeah, so it's still Matthew Fent's choice. He can still do this battle, like you said, anyway. Question is he going to do it? I mean, he could guarantee to
So he
have
is
a
not.
four destiny. He's not, huh? No, you're right. He's just drawing. Okay.
He's drawn. So he says I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna have my full force. But he doesn't. What's interesting is that so he didn't battle Luke there, right? But Vader still can't battle this turn. So if Frodo wants to initiate, he'll be fighting just Tarkin and Blizzard 4.
Yeah, he can't hit Tarkin. Tarkin's not a pilot. He's a passenger. But he needs to have
Yeah.
a seven destiny to clear both the Blizzard and the Tarkin. So
So you'd need Lando Calrissian, Scoundrel, I think it is. It's the Destiny 5 one that we just saw him draw for Destiny. So if he has two of those and he comes down with one, he could draw two Destiny, clear Blizzard one, and leave uh just Darth Vader with lightsaber there.
yeah, we saw the card Rebel Leadership be lost earlier. So if Frodolight has a general somewhere, he can also do that. But somehow I'm doubting that. So he has a Qui-Gon. Okay. Hmm. He can't hit Vader though. Vader's going to be outside of battle. So I don't.
Correct?
I guess he'll just prevent Watto from deploying, most likely. I guess.
He doesn't, because so Blizzard 4 is kind of the key. I had an interesting battle myself this week with Decipher Cards Only, and I ended up losing my game. And the key thing that happened is I wasn't able to get Blizzard 4 off the table, and he hid Watto inside Blizzard 4, so I couldn't swing at him. Now my deck comes with a card under attack that allows my characters with lightsabers to attack walkers during my control phase, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't get the card into my hand. Um, and Blizzard 4 with Watto just kind of crippled me. It was an unfortunate series. So what he could do is he could put Watto inside Blizzard 4, and then he's untouchable.
Okay. I guess it does make sense to try to battle here, get rid of Tarkin so that they can't lock down a site as easily. Um,
Well, he also might do some battle damage too. It doesn't look like he's going to, but in theory, if he drew high enough, because I suspect Fent doesn't want to lose Blizzard 4, and so he could maybe peeled two or three if he did enough battle damage there.
it was possible. It's not going to end up being that way, but yes.
So now we got Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul and Blizzard 4. And Frodo only has two cards in hand. Um, so I mean, maybe one's a Hujix, but you have to question Qui-Gon's viability there at that site.
Well, I guess Frodo is not force choked. He does have 15 force now because he controls Tocche Station, so that much is good. Matthew is not in a hurry to drain. He just needs to occupy Tatooine sites. And the one disadvantage, of course, is that Frodo is giving him more Tatooine sites to better enact his Tatooine occupation plan, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Although I don't think that Fent is really focused on getting out to a large number of sites so much as just dealing that consistent damage every turn here. And again, it's interesting. Frodolight continues to maintain an advantage in life force, and especially an advantage in force that's available to be used. You see that Matthew Fent only has 17 left between his force pile and his reserve deck, compared with 28 for Frodo. So, Frodo, for his slow start is really, hanging tight in this game right now. And if he could get a Star Cruiser down to Tatooine, um, to get rid of occupation, he could be in real good shape.
So Leia or Marco and Ben are all warriors. Qui-Gon's a warrior. He just lost Liberty, so yeah, if he can get a ship and some pilots, sure. But he can't shuttle anyone up to help him.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's helping with
He's
ability
not going to
anyway.
have those, but I
Yeah.
mean, even even if he can just get home one and one pilot, he should draw Destiny. You know, a Wedge Antilles or somebody like that on there.
Yeah.
Then he could draw Destiny and clear Zuckuss, and that really would it'd be a coup for him. Yeah.
So he's going to deploy Watto. He's not deploying Watto inside of Blizzard 4.
Yeah. I'm puzzled at that, but so be it. I definitely would have put him in Blizzard 4. So if Fent puts down a card here, do you think Frodolight pays 2 and lets him deploy it for free? Or do you think he chooses to lose 2?
I'm Frodolight. I'm probably going to lose 2 at this point. Just
Here it
because the
comes.
risk of being overpowered is really bad right now.
And that is what he chooses. So he loses a Rebel Barrier and a Ben Kenobi. Reasonable cards to lose there. Ben Kenobi, you don't want the one for Lightsaber Destiny anyway.
Agreed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if he had Watto on Blizzard 4, I mean, you know, you battle Qui-Gon and he can't draw Destiny. You lose Vader to a Saber Swing, maybe. And Watto stays there with Blizzard 4. You move P90 up, P59 over. Or is it P60? P59?
59. 59.
Yeah. That's what I definitely would have kept Watto on Blizzard 4, but
Putting Shizor in the ship, so he's doubling down on Tatooine. Okay.
yep. Yeah, I suspect when he saw the Thenis be lost, he understood that there was calamari star cruisers, and so he's reinforcing that to make sure Zuckuss doesn't get that beat down that we talked about.
I guess so. I guess the naive move, maybe it's naive, maybe it's not, would be deploy to Mos Eisley, try to get another occupation, and of course maybe you don't want to play, shuffling, movement between there. I guess tattoo occupation
Yeah,
you only hurts you if you're at a battleground site. Each battleground site, yeah. So yeah, interesting. Obi-Wan's hut, although it's a drain of 3 though.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gone after Obi-Wan's hut, but I think what we've seen is he's been a little bit, Fent's hand size has been fairly small throughout the game. And that is one thing that I've noticed also about these Watto decks is sometimes you can catch them where they've they don't have enough cards in their hand, and so you can spread a little bit thin and take advantage of that at times.
Palpatine, Imperial Command, Frodolight 8 to 3 force to force drain. That's 15 force left in this force pile. Big difference to where he was
Yeah,
earlier
he
this
could.
game.
Yeah, you could see why his deck focuses on taking Tashi Station. And again, that's the theme is if he can hold there, he can kind of do what he wants on his turns, and that's a nice ability to have.
So if you're a Frodolight, you would battle at Watto's junkyard, right? I mean, just get rid of Watto, you know.
If you have a Hujix, but I mean, if he battles right
Oh
now,
yeah,
he's at
17.
a
Ouch. Yeah.
11 battle damage deficit plus a destiny. And if Vader hits Qui-Gon and makes him forfeit 0, you're in huge trouble.
True.
So no, I would not start a battle there unless reinforcements would arrive. But it's nice because while Qui-Gon can't start a battle there, it's difficult for Fent to start a battle there because the skiff can react.
True.
So Fent's now doing 1, 2, 3, 4 damage per turn. 4 damage per turn. Here comes Luke with lightsaber again.
11 versus 17, can't get hit twice. They might lose both of them, but you probably won't have overflow. Yeah. And corn
Corn
horn.
horn.
Hmm. Interestingly, you don't want to do corn horn on the. I guess if you went to executor docking bay, I guess you'd be stuck there. But that's another option to overflow, though.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a nice option to overflow because Majeric is a spy, so Cornhorn would get a power +3 there as well. So you'd have like what's that, 10 power? 10 power against 5, cut down one of them. It's tough to overflow with that though, I think. Probably tough. And they're not doing any harm there. They're really, I mean, like I talked about earlier, I think, maybe the executor got put back into the deck when when Frodo lost 2 force there this last turn we just discussed, and now they're kind of sitting there useless.
So Vader's
All right, so
clashed,
here's the battle.
going for Watto.
Now, sorry about the mess here. A sorry about the mess here would be very nice.
I mean, it would reduce the power by 3 if he had it, but Blizzard
And
Force still
then
gonna
and
draw
then you'd
Battle
have
Destiny.
yeah, you might cause overflow though. Well, it doesn't look like we're seeing a sorry about the mess. So he's just going to say, I'll lose Cornhorn, you'll lose Watto, and that's a fair trade. And I think he's right.
Yeah.
And Frodolight just continues to kind of chip away, chip away. And Fent's going to have to put more cards on the table. And again, he doesn't have a lot of life force, and that might be his last Watto.
So wait, I missed something. Why didn't he lose more? Why didn't we lose the Blizzard 4 as well? Wasn't immune to attrition.
There was no Battle Destiny that was drawn for Frodolight because of Watto.
Oh. Well, Water here, you may not draw Battle Destiny. I see your point. You have to have weapons.
Yeah, yeah, that's the whole
What a
theme of Watto's Junkyard, and that's why I was saying you keep Watto inside Blizzard 4 so they can't draw Battle Destiny, and it's very difficult to clear him there. You have to cause overflow without drawing Battle Destiny, which is tough. So Jan is doing some work cycling a card here, and Fent, like I said, will have this 4 damage,
that
and it
that
looks
was
like with
that was the third Watto, so he might not have any more Wattos in his deck.
it's very possible. It's very possible. Now, when Fent does this 4 damage this turn, the life force count's going to be equal. And
Yeah,
so it's going to get real tight down here at the finish line. And that battle plan that's charging 3 to drain could come into play here.
yeah.
It's a really good action game though. Like I predicted, a lot of interaction on Tatooine between these two decks.
You kind of have to. Yeah, you kind of have to. If
Yep.
you can't win by Battle Destiny. You have to win by lightsabers. There's no other real way around it here. So that's probably his last Qui-Gon. He lost to Qui-Gon earlier in this game. He has a Qui-Gon on the ground, so if he loses that Qui-Gon, that's probably it.
He might have something like a Unita, which lets him pull a card out of his off the top of his lost pile into his hand.
He he did have it earlier. It was shown.
Boy, another Watto would be would be pretty brutal right now. unless he doesn't put him on Blizzard 4 again.
Mhm.
It's also going to be interesting to see as the game progresses. You know, ability is on the table, and Fent has two, four, six, eight, 9 cards with ability compared with 5 for Frodo, and so that means that ability is going to be basically be out the remainder of the game. So every turn, in addition to paying 3 to drain at Tocche Station, Frodo's going to have to pay to put a character on the table. Oh, and another Watto, and again,
More Wattos,
not
but not
on
in the
Blizzard
Blizzard.
4,
Hmm.
not on Blizzard 4. And again, this this text here, it says while Watto is here, you may not draw Battle Destiny. It's not that Watto has to be present. He can be inside Blizzard 4 there.
All right. Well, yeah. So Frodo has at least four Obi-Wans, but probably five in his deck. He's lost.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He's lost three so far.
yeah. Ben Kenobi is the card in Frodolight's deck.
Yeah, he has two cards in hand. Does he really have another? Does he really have another card with ability? Hmm.
He better hope he does.
Yeah,
He's going to start to run out of life force pretty quick. And there's to your earlier point. Now we see Darth Maul at lightsaber causing problems at Moss Eisley, threatening a drain of 2, guaranteeing a ping of 1 unless you get another character down to stop him this turn. And
exactly.
you could see with only two saved there, no intentions of battling for Fent. Um, I am surprised. Did he? Oh, there he did. He did put a card face down. Okay, so he made him lose 2. And he ends up doing 6 damage on this turn instead of 4.
So when he put Watto inside there, I guess he no longer satisfied the objective. So okay, I guess that's the issue. And so he just moved. He just moved him over. Hmm.
Yeah, it's
He,
interesting that he left Vader there. So he's saying, I think, that he has a Gick
he's saying he wants to clear both of those lightsaber wielders.
for the price of Vader.
Exactly.
Yep, yep. And he's saying that's what I'm going to do next turn. Is I'm going to attack you and I'm going to Gick. Now, if he does that, though, what's going to happen is that Aura Marco is going to come on the skiff, so he's going to lose 2 more in addition.
That's true. I mean, but Matthew has been very cautious this entire game, right? I mean, he hasn't drained in many areas actually at all, if we're gonna be honest here. So, um, I mean, he can just leave his guys there and they just do the damage from Tatooine occupation. I mean, he's occupying all but one of the battlegrounds there. So,
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that big lead that Frodo had earlier in the life force count, and again now they're down to pretty much even at this point. So Frodo does have a drain of 3 initiative, but he's gonna have to put a character out or he loses 2. So he's losing 1 out of his life force this turn, no matter what. Fent losing a Monarch, Blizzard 4, yep. 2 more, 2 Blizzard 4s.
wow, amazing.
Yeah. That's why I play under attack. This Watto deck loves to put out Blizzard 4, and being able to take it out in the control phase really can turn the tide because they count on it. It's armor for theirs. The other good thing, if Blizzard 4 gives you a hard time, the other really nice play, you see that Leia Rebel princesses wielding Anakin's lightsaber there, I
Mhm.
like to put Leia's blaster rifle on her, and that thing almost auto hits Blizzard 4. You only need a 4 to hit it. You could use blaster proficiency to add 3, and blaster proficiency is used in that context instead of a lost interrupt. So then you only need to draw 1 to hit it, and it's immediately lost along with any characters aboard.
Agreed. No, it's an underutilized card, and Teacher tried to utilize that in his profit deck from last year in PDS2. But yeah, no, this environment, if someone's playing 3 Blizzard 4s, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, I know. The other fun thing to do with Leia's blaster rifle is if you play my kind of scum deck or a court deck that has the Jabba's sail barge in there, that only has an armor of 4 also. So once again, if they stack up there on it, you could do a real nice shot and take out any aliens on the sail barge in one shot.
So Ben Kenobi moving solo to where Darth Maul is,
Yep,
not
yep. I
taking
imagine he's got to
anyone with
dodge.
him. Not taking anyone with him. Okay.
No, because then he can't dodge. He's got to
Um,
be solo to dodge.
hmm.
He's hoping to battle and move back. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fent didn't battle at all, left Obi-Wan sitting there, and then that's one less drain that Fent incurs on the next turn
Yeah, I mean,
because Obi-Wan's lightsaber can't add.
I don't see the point of moving Obi-Wan just to dodge. I mean, I guess, yeah, because Finn has not been force training a lot this game. So, and if I had to dodge, I want to save it. Well, okay, yeah, I guess Dr. Evazan's not there anymore. Um,
Mhm.
he could very easily have a second one of those. So, I think, no, I think we've seen some players use 2 Dr. Evazan Ponda Baba combos, and I think it makes sense with Darth Maul out there. So, just to see one doesn't mean I think that's it for him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that combo card, but sometimes I just wonder if the original Dr. Evazan is better.
I mean, I like him because he can do disarmed, which I
He
guess
could
because you
disarm
have
this
all
pig.
these lightsaber wielders, it's more
Yep.
convenient. Go ahead.
Yep. And he only comes down for 2. And you think, okay, well, Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan power 6 compared with power 1 for Evazan, but they're often only power 3 because of a lightsaber.
Yeah,
So you're spending 4 force for 3 power as opposed to paying 2 force for 1 power. It's not that big of a benefit. Frodolight playing a weapon levitation just to get a 4 back into his deck, I suppose. But you could see Frodolight here now. He did have to take 2 force loss from ability. He's drawn some cards and he only has 8 force left to work with, and he's got to pay for those drains and deploy a character every turn. That is going to be very, very detrimental.
agreed. I think the issue with
And so
Dr.
Fence
Evazan,
can.
though, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, I think the Dr. Evazan is in order to use his ability, you have to have disarmed. But isn't this format where you have, Darth Maul with lightsaber, you get to swing twice? Like, like it's much faster just to deploy a Darth Maul lightsaber or deploy Dr. Evazan Pandababa combo. Because most likely with you have Colo Claw Fish and whatever, you're going to hit one of those times. And then you don't have to wait
You're going
for,
to hit.
your new turn.
Right. What about Rebel Barrier?
I mean, you still have the effect that gets rid of it. I mean, you're right. Rebel Barrier is a thing. It could do it. And if you, yeah, or if you Imperial Barrier and then you're able to do disarm the next turn, it's possible. Yes.
And that's exactly it. That's why I think it's a really nice place because the times that you get blocked from battling, like you have this grand plan, your opponent steps in, you have this backup that you're going to zap their best character at the site in their control phase. That's pretty powerful. So we see home one, Han chewing the Falcon, and weapon levitation being lost again. All those cards pretty useless when you only have 8 life force there.
Yeah, basically, the space package is being is lost as he's giving up on space. So Tatooine
He's
occupation is
given up
not
on
going
space,
away.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now he can drain up Mos Espa as well because he doesn't have to worry about getting lost in the wilderness. Blizzard 4 being there.
I mean, okay. I mean, he just drained there. I mean, Frodolight has forced to move there with the skiff with Leia and with or Marco. I guess he's
Yeah, he's
choosing
not
not to
going to
do
do
so.
that though. Yeah, he's not going to do that. That's a dangerous battle to take. Oh, he's going to come. He is.
Leia should
This is
hop on there. There we go.
yeah. But see, you know, P59 is going to blast Leia here, and that's my concern.
Yeah, I mean, Darkseid gets
It's
to
going to
shoot
cause you to
first.
lose 2 more force,
Strong
you know.
possibility. Yeah, you're right because he has Colo Claw. He can guarantee he draws a 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can guarantee a hit here. You're right.
Oh, here we go though. Clash of Sabers, very nice.
That's the third
Very nice
Clash of
play.
Sabers we've seen. Impressive.
So Frodo has plans clearly, and he's fighting.
I'm impressed. I was not expecting 3 Clash of Sabers. That's for sure. Maybe he has 4 in this deck.
Pardon me, says battle anyway.
And to Menace.
Oof.
Okay. Defense value +2. Into attrition.
And I would imagine we saw Janice last turn activate during Frodolight's turn, so Fent knows what's on the bottom of his reserve right now. And my guess is it's a 5 or a higher to take out Ben Kenobi here. Why else would he play Phantom Menace if he's not going to battle there?
Um,
And important
Man.
to note, the skiff cannot come to Ben Kenobi's assistance. It has reacted once, and now it's stuck at Mos Espa for the remainder of this turn.
This is true. But if you're Fent, you don't even have to stay. You can leave Janice there. You can just move to the hut. Yeah, that seems exactly what he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna do. Yeah, so he's not even gonna battle anywhere.
Yep, he's just saying, I'm doing more damage than you. Change it. I'm still very surprised that he keeps bringing Watto out.
We're gonna leave Watto and
It could
Vader
be that
out,
Fent is under the misimpression that he thinks that he needs him there present to use his can't draw battle destiny ability.
possibly.
Mm. And a nice play here, shuttling Prince Shizor down,
Why not?
setting himself up for 4 ping damage in addition to the drain at Tatooine.
Now, is there a reason to hide Janice inside of Blizzard 4? What, because they can only shoot 2 people here. They can't shoot 3. Unless they do sorry about the mess, but then
I would have kept Watto on board too,
hmm,
and said I'm going to save all my forfeit. Cycling a 5 back in. I'll tell you, these guys are really down to the wire here. You know, it certainly seems that Fent has the advantage, but if Frodolight can find a way to do some damage in a battle, cause some overflow, he's got a chance.
agreed. It's Frodlight's turn.
So where is he looking to do that damage is the question. I think
P59.
I
Yeah.
think the best chance he would have is if he's got Unita in hand. He can pick that Clash of Sabers back up. He can Clash Watto, battle, Saber Vader, Blaster Proficiency, and go to town on Blizzard 4 maybe. I don't know. That's even that doesn't cause overflow.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, so here's the Blaster Proficiency. Sorry about the mess combo card. And he's getting rid of Watto.
Get rid of bottom so we can at least draw Battle Destiny.
Yep.
But
But this means that even if he hits Vader with Saber, Vader
he doesn't have
will
enough cards.
like he'll.
He doesn't have enough cards. That's the problem.
Oh right, yeah,
He activated too much for what he's trying to do.
yeah. Well, he might have something where he has a character he wants to put down too to avoid ability.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he has any choice but to battle here because he's dealing no damage right now. He has no cards that are dealing any. Yeah, there's the only. Oh, see, he did that wrong. Oh, what a shame. Yeah,
He should have done Clash. He shouldn't. Well, he had to be control
he should have.
phase. He had to be control phase. He couldn't do it otherwise. He would have had to
No,
battle,
what he needed.
basically.
He what he needed to do is play the Onita, pick up the Clash, initiate the battle, then um, Clash of Sabers Vader, and then shoot at Watto and use the blaster proficiency. You have to lose an extra card to do it, but then you get to play both. Yeah, he had to use the blaster proficiency part of it instead of the sorry about the mess. And now, I mean, he's only got 9 force left, and he's taking 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't see a way he takes less than 6 damage next turn. And that means that ability is going to hit him the following turn. And unfortunately, I just don't see a way out of this for Frodo. I mean, he fought valiantly
Yeah.
and really overcame a lot of adversity in the early game, but he's in a real tough spot now.
Agreed. No, he clashed people 3 times this game. It was certainly impressive. I think he has 4, sorry about the mess, combos at the very
Yep.
least. No, I mean, impressive.
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And Vampire Hunt VHD adds that he can land Zuckuss if he needs some extra forfeits somewhere as well.
Oh, I mean, or
I
let
mean,
I mean, I mean, land Zuckuss on Obi-Wan's hut. Just drain for 3.
I
I
was
mean,
about to say the same thing. Yeah. Threaten the drain of 3 and, just take up another character. Yeah.
wow, he had 5 of those. My goodness, amazing.
Yeah, he definitely, Frodo, like I said, he was working on this deck last night. He was working hard at it, and he came with something original. He came with something unique that, Fent was not familiar with. And to his credit, I mean, Watto is one of the top decks in the format, bar none. It's definitely one of the hardest decks to handle, and he's been with Fent the whole way here, and he's played a great game. It does look like he's going to come up a little bit short, but I think that it's a very impressive performance from Frodo.
Agreed. Agreed. I wasn't expecting a skiff, but he made it work. We won an early critical battle that wasn't
Mhm.
expecting because he had a card which made him automatically fail to hit him. I forgot the name, but that's the one he grabbed here. Yeah, it was Blaster Reflection. Yeah, Blaster Reflection saved him
Yeah.
fairly on.
Yeah.
All right.
So now Fent's just kind of doing the mop up work. Like I said, he's down to 3 life force here. There's no way he can deploy anything, so he's going
Yeah.
to lose 2 next turn. So even if he wanted to battle, he's never going to be able to draw Battle Destiny. Um,
He can't force drain. He doesn't have 3 life force. He has 1 card in
yep.
hand. That won't help him. So no, it's pretty much over now.
Yeah. But again, a great game from Frodo, and I'm kind of curious. Pull up a different internet browser so I could take a look at the standings. But I think Matthew Fent is he going to 5-0 here? What is he going to be? I know Frodolight was 3-1. And let's see here. Retro League. Fent is currently 3-1. So Matthew Fent will go to 4-1. And he'll join Andy Talaga, Dr. Torch, Mame 2, Johnny Chu, Mr. Yellow, Star Wars CTG 2 Moon, and Dylan as tied for third in the current standings. We still have two 5-0 players, Dirty Randy and How Did We Get Into This Mess? And it looks like Party McFly and Brad Kipple are both 4-0 and will be facing off, I believe, tomorrow, Bill, as they
Nice.
wrap this game up here. And I believe we'll be covering that game tomorrow, Sunday, at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. Look forward to it. This will be a good one. I know Party
All
McFly's
right,
been
excellent.
practicing. Yep.
Yep. And definitely want to thank everybody who tuned in. Special thanks to VHD for participating in the chat. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.